Hello everybody, Jonathan Angela Scott here, and we want to talk to you a little bit about a special offer to celebrate Black Friday, and it is to offer you the chance to have 25% off the price of any of the images in our fine art gallery. And that will run through to the 29th of November, so we're getting in a week ahead, so you have plenty of time to take a look at our fine art collection and see if there's something there that you would love to have on your wall. We sincerely hope that there is. And in the near future, we're going to be concentrating our efforts on the Sacred Nature Initiative, and more on that another time, and also on our limited edition prints. So for the moment, 25% off anything on the Fine Art Gallery. And after that, the open edition prints will no longer be available. And there are some favorite images there. And I just want to remind you of 4 or 5, let's say of 6 of them. And first up, Toto, that incredible little cheetah. Honey's cub, little male cheetah, 3 months old when we started filming him in Big Cat Week in 2005. And he led us a merry dance as he struggled to survive with his mum, the only cub surviving in the litter that she would have had, maybe 4, 5, 6 cubs. Just Toto survived. And she moved from the Musiara area near to where we have accommodation at Governor's Camp, all the way down to Paradise Plains, a beautiful area, but full of danger, lions, hyenas. And we followed this little cub's adventures. And I think of all of the cats, certainly of the cubs that we've been involved with, this particular little cheetah just captured our hearts, as it did of millions of viewers. And I just love this image that Angie took one morning. Toto, just looking full of life, sitting up on a termite mound, just encased by the curl of Honey's tail, who would have been looking for danger, looking for food, doing everything possible to ensure that this little cub survived. So that's one of the open edition prints, 25% off, which are available to you now. Now another one celebrates one of my favorites, certainly amongst the big cats, and that was Zawadi. Zawadi and Safi, her daughter. On the morning of the dawn of the new millennium, so the year 2000, we went out to Fig Tree Ridge, one of the favorite spots for Zawadi and her mother before her half-tail. Great place for a leopard to have cubs. And we found her with 2 cubs, little male cub who didn't survive, and then this little female cub, Safi. And there was one moment where they sat like bookends on a huge rock on the top of Fig Tree Ridge. And one looked one way and one looked the other. And they just looked relaxed but watchful. And we just celebrated being in the presence of these extraordinary cats. So there's another wonderful open edition print for you to have the chance to put on your wall. Now, I've got my own crib sheet here just to make sure that I cover all of these images that I want to celebrate. And then there was following her footsteps. So this is an image that Angie took while we were filming season 2 of Big Cat Tales. It was with the Marsh Pride. And there's this picture of one of the adult lionesses just moving back to Bilashaka, the place we refer to as Without Fail. One of the favorite places for the Marsh Pride to lie up during the daytime and to raise their cubs, somewhere where they can feel safe and secure in the heart of their territory. And this is a wonderful image of this lioness walking into the distance and this tiny cub who we called Kalele, in Swahili, the noisy one, because this little male cub was always just trying to make sure that he didn't get left behind. So trailing behind the 2 mothers in this little creche with 2 older relatives, 2 older cubs, a male and a female, and then this little guy. And we just as we did with Toto, you become completely immersed in the lives of these cats. You see them as individuals, which of course they are, incredibly complex, living, breathing entities that we've had so much enjoyment watching in the Maasai Mara in Kenya. So following her footsteps, motherhood, family, the need for bonding and love. We all know those kind of needs. And you could just feel this little cub, he just wanted to be in the pride, the security of all of those bigger, older relatives. And then we had, this is another great picture. So this again was taken during Big Cat Tales with the wonderful Abraham Joff, Don West and the team from Untitled Films. And Angie spent a lot of time with the Marsh Pride, who were our pride of lands that we focused on for that series, 2019. You can see it on Animal Planet and season 1 as well. And Cloudy Eyed, whose name is Rembo. So Cloudy, we called her Cloudy Eyed because when we filmed her in 2017, first season of Big Cat Tales, her one eye was completely clouded over. We don't know whether she'd had a thorn, whether she'd been spat at by a spitting cobra perhaps, but it was very evident that she couldn't see out of one eye. So we called her Cloudy Eye. And one of Angie's favorites, just a wonderful mother, always extremely vigilant with her cubs. But in this instance, she lost all of the cubs, rather like Honey with little Toto, except for one. But this was a little female. And this little cub just adored her mum. And it was fascinating watching Cloudy Eye and Kabibi, the other mother in the Marsh Pride with cubs, and seeing how those little cubs, they know whose their mother is. They know they can sometimes get milk by suckling from an adult relative, female relative. But the mums know who's who. And in this picture, Cloudy Eye is just reaching down as the little female walks beneath her and gets a really good lick on the top of her head. So grooming, bonding, that sense of togetherness, the glue that holds Pride members together. So another beautiful picture. Again, remember, 25% off of all of these prints. Open-end prints, which won't be available in the future, but in fact, for the moment, through till the 29th of November, 25% off any of the prints in our fine art gallery. So then another one featuring Honey and Toto. Now, these cheetahs, so Honey, the mother, was an extraordinary mother. She was extremely successful. It's very hard for mother cheetahs to raise their cubs in an area like the Maasai Mara, where there's so many lions and hyenas, competitors that will kill those cubs, will steal their food, will make life incredibly hard for a mother cheetah with these tiny little cubs. So here she was, 2005, we're filming her for Big Cat Week with this one little male cub, Toto, and Angie captured this magical portrait of mother and cub. They were lying up on a termite mound. It was early morning light. It was perfect photography. No other vehicles. The mother, Honey, who knew our vehicle, felt relaxed around it. Little Toto, totally comfortable in the presence of vehicles, with his mum on the top of the termite mound and just moving up towards her to greet her. And you could say it's anthropomorphic, but in my terms, you can see the pleasure, the connection, the joy in this greeting that's about to happen. So the look on Honey's face, and that little whisker just sort of all tangled up and curled up as she lifts her head, beautifully side-lit, and the little cub moves up towards her to be groomed and to be reassured, because after all, for little Toto, his whole world revolved around his mum. Well, the art of relaxation in these difficult times, with COVID wreaking havoc around the globe, and with people incredibly stressed, worried about their families, worried about their health, about the health of their loved ones, worried about their jobs, what's going to happen in the future. And so another of our open-ended prints that we've chosen to focus on here, the art of relaxation. And I can tell you there's nothing like a cat, and particularly a leopard, up a comfortable tree, or even to us what might seem an uncomfortable tree, just stretched out, relaxing, eyes closed or not, feeling secure, feeling safe, feeling at home, and just taking a time out. And how much do we need to do that? To pause for a minute, to think about what's important in our life, family, friends, reaching out, being kind, being compassionate, relaxing. And so that's it for this insight into these open edition prints, which will no longer be available very shortly. Your chance, 25% off, celebrating Black Sunday. And through to the 29th of November, this is your chance to have one of our prints on our wall, and perhaps to remember some of the insights into the stories behind the images. Bye-bye, and thank you so much.